What if I told you that somewhere in the vast silence of the universe, something once tried to speak to us? Not for a long time, not repeatedly, but just once, for exactly 72 seconds. And then it stopped. Forever. This is the story of one of the greatest unsolved mysteries in astronomy, the WOW signal. A signal that may have been the first whisper of intelligence from beyond Earth, or the most extraordinary cosmic coincidence ever recorded. We begin on a quiet summer night, August 15th, 1977. In Ohio, United States, a massive radio telescope known as the Big Ear Observatory was listening to the sky. But it wasn't looking at stars the way we imagine telescopes do. It was listening. Because space is not silent. Every star, every galaxy, every cloud of hydrogen gas emits radio waves. And somewhere in that endless sea of noise, scientists hope to find something different, something artificial, something intentional, a message. At the time, one man was reviewing the data coming in from Big Ear. His name was Jerry Eman. He was not expecting anything unusual that night, just routine analysis, just another stack of computer printouts filled with random numbers and signals from the cosmos. But then, something appeared. A sequence of characters that didn't look like noise. It stood out immediately. 6EQJ5. At first glance, it looks meaningless. But in the system used by the telescope, this wasn't random. It represented signal intensity over time. And what it showed was shocking. The signal started weak, grew stronger, peaked, and then slowly faded away. Like something in deep space had turned toward Earth, transmitted a message, and then turned away again. Jerry Eman stared at it. He checked the surrounding data. He checked for interference. He checked for known sources. Nothing explained it. And in a moment of pure surprise, he circled the sequence and wrote a single word in the margin. Wow! And just like that, the signal got its name. The WOW signal. But the real mystery was only beginning. The signal had come from a region near the constellation Sagittarius, a dense area of the Milky Way galaxy, a place filled with stars, planets, and endless unknown possibilities. And yet, despite its strength, despite its clarity, the signal lasted only 72 seconds. Then, nothing. No repetition, no echo, no follow-up. It was never detected again. Not once. Scientists immediately tried to understand what had happened. Could it have been Earth-based interference? A passing satellite? A military transmission? A reflection? A glitch? One by one, each explanation failed. The signal did not match any known human technology at the time. It did not behave like atmospheric noise. It did not resemble natural radio bursts from Earth. And most importantly, it came from space. Deep space. Not Earth, not near Earth orbit, but far beyond. That realization changed everything. Because if it was truly extraterrestrial in origin, then it meant something extraordinary had just happened. Someone, or something, had attempted communication. But why only once? Why 72 seconds? Why never again? That question has haunted scientists for decades. The signal was so strong that it saturated the telescope's detectors. It was not a faint whisper. It was a clear spike in radio intensity. And yet, it vanished completely after its brief appearance. To understand why this matters, we need to talk about frequency. The wow signal was detected at approximately 1420 megahertz. This is not an ordinary number. This frequency corresponds to the natural emission of hydrogen, the most abundant element in the universe. Many scientists believe this frequency is a kind of universal channel. If intelligent civilizations exist elsewhere, they might also recognize this frequency as important, a shared cosmic reference point, which makes the wow signal even more intriguing, because it didn't just appear randomly across the radio spectrum. It appeared exactly where many scientists believe an intelligent signal might appear. But coincidence alone is not proof, so alternative explanations were explored. One theory suggested a natural astronomical phenomenon, perhaps a cloud of hydrogen gas emitting unusual radiation, perhaps a rare cosmic alignment, perhaps an unknown astrophysical process. But there was a problem. Natural sources do not behave like the wow signal. They do not suddenly appear and disappear within 72 seconds. They do not create a clean, structured intensity curve. And they do not behave like a narrowband transmission. The signal looked artificial, but appearances can be deceiving. Another possibility was human error or unknown terrestrial interference. But decades of investigation found no matching source, no satellite, no radar system, no known transmitter, nothing. The signal remained unexplained. As time passed, SETI researchers pointed other radio telescopes toward the same region of Sagittarius. They listened carefully. They waited. They hoped. But the universe stayed silent. No repetition. No confirmation. Just emptiness. As if whatever had sent the signal had never intended to speak again, or had simply moved on. The mystery deepened. Over the years, more advanced theories emerged. Some suggested that the signal could have been a reflection of a terrestrial transmission, bouncing off space debris or a comet. Others proposed more exotic ideas, including unknown cosmic masers or transient astrophysical events. But none fully matched the data. Every explanation left gaps. Every theory raised new questions. And so, the wow signal remained where it began, unsolved, unconfirmed, unrepeated. One of the most compelling aspects of the signal is its perfect isolation. In all the decades of radio astronomy since 1977, no identical signal has ever been detected. Not even once. This is what makes it so powerful as a mystery. If it were noise, we would expect repetition. If it were a natural phenomenon, we would likely observe similar events elsewhere. But we haven't. Only silence. Which leads to the most haunting possibility of all. What if it was intentional? What if, somewhere in the Sagittarius region of our galaxy, a transmission was sent out? Not as a continuous broadcast, but as a single test. A brief attempt to see if anyone was listening? And if so, what does it mean that we heard it only once? Were we just lucky? Or were we just not the intended recipient? And if someone did send it, are they still out there? Still trying? Still waiting? Or did they stop, believing no one was listening? The truth is, we don't know. And that uncertainty is exactly what makes the wow signal so powerful. It sits at the edge of science and imagination, between data and mystery, between probability and possibility. And it forces us to confront one of the most profound questions ever asked. Are we alone in the universe? Because if we are not, then somewhere out there, someone may have already said hello. Just once. And we might have already heard it, but barely. A whisper across the stars. 72 seconds of cosmic silence-breaking wonder. And then, nothing again. Today, radio telescopes are far more advanced than they were in 1977. We scan the sky with greater precision than ever before. We listen deeper. We listen longer. We listen constantly. And yet, we have never heard it again. The wow signal remains a ghost in the data. A single moment that refuses to repeat. A question without an answer. A message without a sender. Or perhaps a sender without a second attempt. And so we return to the night sky. The same sky Jerry Eman looked at decades ago. The same region of Sagittarius. The same silence. And we wait. Because somewhere in that silence, there may still be something listening back. Or something that once spoke and chose never to speak again. And until we know the truth, the universe keeps its secret. And we keep listening.